Hello guys, and welcome back to my video. So in this video, I'm going to be building a video core application using ZegoCloud. So ZegoCloud is a global communications SDK provider that provides you with a powerful audio core, video core, online conferencing API. And the good thing about ZegoCloud is it's very easier to use. So the other thing about ZegoCloud is they provide you with UI kits. So these UI kits helps you to integrate video call, audio call, online conferencing very much easier into application without you doing much of the stuff with WebRTC or that they've already implemented that for you. So the first thing that you need to do is you need to go to sign up. So I have already registered, so it will just take me to the login, and then I'll just log in. Okay, so let me just log in to my ZegoCloud console. If you don't have an account, you can just register. So as you can see, now we are in the ZegoCloud console. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create a new project, which is going to be voice and video call, this one. As you can see, you have different video conference, live streaming, live audio room, in-app pages, customized app, telehealth, and one-on-one tutoring. Okay, so let's just click on the video call and let's proceed to next. Okay, project name, let's just call it ZegoCloud. Right, and then let's just click start with the UI kits. Okay, so while we're still creating our project, I'm just going to go into this repository. I'll put it in the description below. So I'm just going to copy these dependencies, all these dependencies. So these are the dependencies that we are going to use. We are going to use ZegoCloud. Let's just copy them. Let's go into our pubspec.yaml file. So inside our pubspec.yaml file, let's just paste them below, which is Zego UI kit pre-built Firebase Auth, Google sign in, Cloud Firestore UUID, and then we also have the sign in button. Okay, right, so let's just leave it like that, and then let's go back to our ZegoCloud console, and then you can choose. So this is how you can go to our dashboard. As you can see, this is our project ZegoCloud. We have the app sign, we have our app sign, we have our token. Yeah, that's basically all that we need. Okay, so now what we are going to do is I'm just going to this repo, and we have this folder what I have created called the Auth service. So let's just copy it, and then inside our lib folder, let's just create a folder called services. So, and then let's just put our, let's just say auth service .dat. Okay, like this, and then let's paste it inside. All right, and then let's import the dependencies. Let's just import the dependencies. Let's wait for Flutter to just Flutter pub get to finish running. Okay, right, so let's try to import the dependencies. Yeah, let's import Firebase Auth. Let's import Firebase Firestore. Let's also import the build context. let's also import Google sign in. So let's get rid of that. And then we need to show snack bar. Okay, so let's go back into our utils. Let's copy this snack bar that's going to display a snack bar. So if we go back to our project, we're just going to type in utils and then utils dot. Okay, so let's paste it in, then let's import material dot. All right, okay, and then let's import this one. Yeah, so we are now okay. So from this auth service, what we are using Google sign in. So we need to import the dependencies Firebase Auth, and we also need to import our Firebase Firestore, which we are going to use to store the user's data. And then we also have this stream, which is the stream, which is a stream of the user, and then it's going to get the auth state changes to monitor if there are any state changes in the authentication of the user. That is, if the user is logged in or if it's logged out. Here we are going to get the current user, and then with this method we are going to sign out the user if they want to sign out. And then we have this method, which is the sign in with Google. So what we need to do is we need to get the Google user from Google sign in account, and then we then use Google sign in authentication, right? We then assign this Google user to the Google sign in authentication, right? We then get the credential of the user from Google. So this is the credential of the user. The credential of the user will contain the access token and also the ID token, right? And then we are going to use that user credential to sign in the user. As you can see, user credential is equals to sign in with credential. Then we are going to use this credential to sign in the user. And then we are going to get this user, and then we are going to check, since if it's the first time, that is if the user does not exist, or if they are first time in our database, we are going to check that if the user is not equal to now, that means that the user is signed. If the user is not equal to now, that means that the user is signed in. And if the user is new, we then store their information inside the database. Otherwise, we are just going to return true. And then if there is an error, we are going to showcase this Firebase auth error. Okay, so now that we are done, the next thing that we need to do is we need to go to Firebase console. So here what we are going to do is we are going to set up a project called ZegoCloud, right? Let's activate it. Let's use the default account. Okay, so if you don't know much about setting up a Firebase project, you can check out my video on setting up Firebase. Okay, so let's go into our authentication, and then let's go to get started. So let's enable Google. Okay, this is going to be the default email for the project. And then the next thing we are going to do is Firebase database. And then we are going to create a database. It's going to be United States, and then we're going to we are going to start in test mode. Okay. let's try again. Let's try again. Let's choose another one, Europe. Let's try again. Test mode. Let's just restart the application. Okay. Okay, Cloud Firestore is working. I think there was an error or something. Okay, so let's just allow read and write. Okay, like this. Then let's publish the rules. Okay. Okay. Now that we are done with this, we need to start developing the user interface for our application, right? The first thing that we need to do is we need to configure Firebase, right? So let's just go. Then let's go to flutter configure. Let's copy this command. Let's paste it in. Okay, cd ZegoCloud. Okay, let's paste the command in. Let's see. Okay, so we need this one, ZegoCloud. Let's set it up. Okay, let's wait for it. Okay, so now our project is added to Firebase. So now what we need is let's just create another folder called views. Then let's create a login screen. Login screen dot dat. Okay, it's going to be a stateless widget. Login screen. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is we need to initialize our auth service. All right, so we are just going to return a scaffold, and then let's give it a body. Center. Child is going to be a sized box. Let's give it a height of 50 and then a width of 350. And then child is going to be sign in button, and then it's going to be buttons.google, and then on pressed, So on pressed, what we're just going to do is we are going to say final response, which is equal to await. This must be an async function. Okay, this goes to await auth service dot sign in with Google like this, and then we provide the context like this. Okay, and then we are just going to say if there is a response, that means it's a success. Then we are going to say navigator dot push context, and then material page route. Let's provide the context. And then home screen like this. Okay, home screen do that. And just give it a home screen. Okay, so let's import it. Right, now we are done. The next thing now we need to do is we need to state persistence of our login. Right, so here we must widgets flutter binding dot ensure initialized. Okay, and then the next is we are going to just await. Let's think. We are going to just await Firebase dot initialize app. So let's import dot initial So let's give it options. Default Firebase options. Default Firebase options dot current platform like this. Okay. Don't know why I'm getting an error with Firebase. Use the correct name. Let's try it again. Firebase. Okay. Let's try import Zego slash Firebase options. Okay, we've already imported this. We need to install Firebase core. Okay, we need to add Firebase core. Flutter pub add Firebase core. Yeah, my bad about that. So let's just add. Okay, Now let's try to import it here. Yeah, here we go. So now what we need to do is just get rid of this, all this. Under home, what we need to do is under home we need to use a stream builder. Remember we talked about stream builder, and then the stream is going to be auth. It's going to be auth service dot auth state change. If you still remember, we said that this auth state change is used to monitor the changes in the auth of the user. It means if the user is logged in, we know the current state of the user if he is logged in or if he's not logged in. And then let's use a builder, and then context, also a snap. Yeah, let's give it a snapshot like this. Okay. So we are going to check if the snapshot dot connection state is equal to connection state dot waiting. That means that we are still loading, our data is still loading. So we are just going to return constant center child, and then we provide a circular progress indicator like this. Okay. And then the next thing is we are going to check if snapshot dot has data. That means that our user is logged in, so we are just going to return the home screen. All right. And then else we are just going to return the login screen. That means the user is not logged in. Okay, like this. Right, so that's it. So I think we have an error somewhere. I don't know where that error is coming from. It's coming from the login screen. Okay, let's put a semicolon. Okay, as you can see now, we can run our application. Let's run it on our emulator. Let's see if our login is working. Okay, while still loading, let's go to Android. How to get sh. Android key in flutter. Okay. Okay. Copy. So we need this for Google authentication. So just copy this, and then let's go into our what's happening? Multi-text. Okay, there's an error about multi-text, so let's search about it. Okay, so let's just copy this. Let's go into our build.credo, Android app, build.credo, default config. Yeah, let's paste it. multi-dex. Okay, now we can run our app and see. Let's see. So let's go back and let's copy this. Okay, let's go into our terminal. Okay, so just copy this SHA1 key. Otherwise, if you don't copy this key, if you don't copy this key, your Google Auth wouldn't work. So let's copy this. Let's go back into Firebase console, into a Firebase application. Okay, let's go into let's go into our project settings. Let's go to Android. There must be your apps. Okay, ZegoCloud. So what we add fingerprint. So just paste this SHA. Come back here. Copy the other one. Yeah, this key is unique to everyone, so it differ. So let's add another one here. Why am I getting an error? Still doesn't match correct. Okay, so copy, cancel, and then let's paste it. Cancel. So why are we getting an error? Okay, SHA56. Let's copy this. Copy. Okay, there's some space here. Okay, then let's save. Alright, now our application would work. But now what we need to do is let's just copy this google.json file. Okay, I know guys, this video might be taking long, but yeah, these are some of the necessary steps we have to take, otherwise it wouldn't work. So now we need to go into Android, review in Finder, Android. Let me just enlarge this app, google.json. Let me just get rid of this, and let me paste this one. Paste item. Let's rename it. Okay. So let's just rerun our application. Then let's try to use Google. Okay, so I know this is because of the device. So let me just use another device. Launch emulator. Let's just use this one. Okay, so let's just let's just run it on this emulator. Let's see. Now you guys will be saying the video take long, but the ZegoCloud part is the easiest part because we are not going to do much. So while it's still loading, let's go to our ZegoCloud, right? So here, let's go back again to our folder here. Let's go to Android, app, source, and then main, and then go into this android.manifest file. Copy these permissions. We need these permissions, so let's copy them. So you just copy it from the GitHub repository. Let's paste it them way. Source, main, android.xml. So let's paste them below. All right, so that's the first step. Even if you go to this, we have a nice documentation here. They will tell you everything about it and configure your project. Compile SDK, we need to change our compile SDK to 33. So let's go into app, build.credo. Let's change the compile SDK to 33. 33, okay. That's the first step. Minimum SDK, let's make sure that it's also 21. So let's go back again. Build.credo, minimum SDK. So minimum SDK, let's make sure it's 21. And then the next thing we are supposed to do is modify this one is okay. Your project credo.properties, build.credo, this one is okay. Android manifest file, this one is okay. So in your project Android app, create a ProGuard rules.pro. Okay, so okay, so let's go into our app. And then we're going to say pro. Let's just copy this. Name it .pro. Okay, that's it. And then we need to just copy this and paste it. Okay, yeah, that's it for Android. That's it for Android. I think we are done for Android. So let's try to sign in with Google. Yeah, let's use the Shonest Temple. Yeah, as you can see, now we are logged in. Cool. All right, so the next part is we need to just use this one, ZegoCloud UI kit, right? So this is the easiest part. So let's go into our core screen or our home screen. So what I'm just going to do is in our home screen, right? What I'm just going to do is I'm just going to say we need a final string call ID. Those are users that are going to be users who join in a call if the call ID is the same. So that means if the two users are in a have two call IDs that are the same, they are in the same call. All right. So now the next thing that we need to do here, we need to just return Zego UI kit pre-built core, like this. And then we need an app ID. So if we go back to our console, this is the app ID here, app ID. So we need this app ID, which I'm going to just paste here. And then we also need the app sign, which is this one, app ID, and then app sign, which is this one, which I've copied also. So let's paste it here. All right. No, so the app sign is not it. Let's come back here. Let's copy it. Copy it. Right. So let's come here. Then let's paste it. The other thing is we need the caller ID, right? We need the core ID. So the core ID, I'm just going to say call. Where did we say here? It's going to be the call ID. Decorating the name defined. Final string call ID. And then the user ID, we also need a user ID also. So for the user ID, I'm just going to, let's initialize our auth service. Auth service is equals to auth service, like this. Okay. So here I'm just going to say auth service dot user dot UID. Then for the username, we need user. We also need auth service dot user dot display name, okay, which can be null. Then the other thing is for the config. The config, that's when you tell Zego, ZegoCloud, if you are going to use video call, telehealth, or any other kits that they have called, and then config. As you can see on this video, we are going to use one. So I think I made a typo somewhere. Yeah. So it's going to be Zego dot one. It's going to be Zego UI kit. Then it's going to be one. So let's try to import it. Let's see what's going on here. So it's Zego UI kit pre-built call config dot one-on-one video call. As you can see, you can also use one-on-one voice call, but we need video call. All right. So the call ID must be equal to the call ID. I don't know what's going on. Final string super dot. Why is it? Okay. I think I know why. So we just need to pass widget dot call ID. Okay. So now that we are done, with the home screen. So okay, let's just change this into core screen. I made a mistake. Let's change this class into core screen. Okay. So let's just change this to core screen state. Okay, so now we can now create, let's rename this call. Okay, let's change this to home screen. Home screen dot dat, like this, right? So let's give it a stateful widget. Home screen. Okay. So in the home screen, what we need is we need a text editing controller. Text ID control. This goes to text editing controller, and then with the text it's going to be test call. Okay, like this. So now we need to return a scaffold body, constant then we need to provide a padding, and then constant edge insets dot all, which is going to be 8, and then we need to provide a child, and then it's going to be a row, and then we need to provide the children. Okay, so we just need to align our widgets. We need the main axis alignment and the cross axis alignment. Main axis alignment dot center, and the cross axis alignment also, which is going to be a cross axis alignment dot center. All right, so now we need to provide the child. Okay, it's going to be an expanded widget, and then we need to provide the text form field. We need to provide the text form field, and then we need to provide the controller, which is goes to call ID controller, and then we need to provide the decoration, which is going to be the input decoration, and then label, we just give it a starter core. Okay, it's supposed to be label text. Right, and then the next we need to provide an elevated button. Then for the child, we're going to provide a text widget, which is going to just call, let's just say starter core. Okay, and then we need to navigate to the core screen. Navigator.push, and then the route, for the route we need to provide the material page route. And then let's use the core screen. Core screen, and then the core ID is going to be call ID text dot text. Okay, So that's it. That's basically it for implementing ZegoCloud UI 2K. So as you can see, it's easy to use. Okay, so let's come here to our, let's import the home screen. Alright, let's go to our login screen and also let's import the home screen. Alright, so now let's just rerun our application. Let's see if it's working. So as you can see, if I use the starter core, as you can see now we are in a core, right? So let's run another emulator. Let's try to run another emulator. As you can see, it's also even counting the video. You can even disable the mic, loudspeaker. You can even turn the camera around and also disable the video. Okay, so let's run it on the second emulator and let's see if it's working. Okay, this. Okay, so let's just sign in with the second emulator. Let's see. Unable to establish connection. So let's just press that. Okay, let's sign in. Okay, so if I use start echo again, as you can see now we are in the same core with this. We are now in the same core with this guy. Okay, so the reason why, as you can see, we are now in the same core with this guy. So you can just play around with it and then make sure that you use a real device so that it can give you like clear images. And please don't forget to check out ZegoCloud, and they will give you 10,000 free minutes for all your video call, online conferencing, or audio call SDK for free. Thanks for watching, guys. Cheers.